Based on the experience we have had over the years, most of the times, the business owners either suspect what you eventually come and tell them, or they already know it, but they are just looking for how to solve the problem.
What are some skills that you know that SMEs need to grow in Ghana?
Communication is another issue. How do you even communicate what you are doing? How do you sell yourself? A lot of businesses don't actually know how to sell themselves and even their products. So you later realize that you have a wonderful product, but unless you dig in and realize, okay, this is what you are doing, how come we are not hearing so much about you?
Yeah, when I was in uni, one of the things that I really enjoyed to do was to volunteer for
What uni?
University of Ghana, obviously. and just to let you guys know, those who didn't go to UG here, we were just ranked the first in Ghana and the fifth in Africa.
Welcome to Building Bytes, where we tell relevant stories about Ghana's tech ecosystem to drive growth and innovation. This production is with support from the Haftel Academy. And in this episode, we are spotlighting challenges Ghana for its work over the last decade, empowering SMEs with sustainable business support. Since 2014, they've supported over 300 businesses, driving job creation, skills development, and sustainable growth. From helping vulnerable groups like returned migrants to promoting green businesses and rural economic projects, Challenges Ghana has played a key role in Ghana's entrepreneurial ecosystem. And we are here to explore their impact. You're warmly welcome to the Building Bytes podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But before we dive into conversations, what happened in tech, Poga?
What happened in tech this week has been a very exciting one. A lot of events. So first was the Tech in Ghana. We collaborated with Tech in Ghana this year, and it was a good one. You were there. What was your experience like?
Yes, it was truly different. This year was the 14th episode of Tech in Ghana. So they've been in existence for 7 years. And Tech in Ghana runs both in Accra and London in UK. So this year, like I said, very different venue, Movenpick, Ambassador Hotel. And they also had an app. So before you even enter the programs, you basically register, you are logged into your app, you have access to all the seminars that are happening. For us at Building Bytes, we're basically interviewing all the key stakeholders, including the people who had speeches and the exhibitors. My first interview was with the British ambassador to Ghana, Harriet. Yes. It was very short and sweet, but then she made us understand how their support to Tech in Ghana has been right from the beginning in 2014. No, 7 years. So when is it? 2024. That's how long?
So that's 2017, yeah.
2017. Okay, yeah. Cool. Yes, from that time. Yeah. But then one exciting news, Tech in Ghana is going to Kumasi next year. Next year, November, they'll be in Kumasi for the Royal Edition. So Otunfo's team were also here to launch the Tech in Ghana in Kumasi. It was very exciting. We also had a session where we had a tribute to the late Herman Chinuhes. Yes. May he so rest in peace. He was basically the Bill Gates of tech in Africa, and a lot of people, his son was there to basically talk about his life and his journey in the tech scene. We had a lot of these. We interviewed Ekia. She was also there as well in person.
What's your most interesting interview? Which one did you enjoy the most?
The interview I enjoyed the most was actually the one with Africa Science Academy. There's this. So Africa Science Academy is basically more like a pre-tertiary school, but for girls. Yeah, and there's this lady who came to showcase her work. She's 17. They are building something for farmers in animal husbandry to basically monitor their animals. And I think whenever I see young girls innovating and mostly using STEM in their innovations. I get excited. So I'm sorry I'm biased, but then that's my most exciting interview. But then I had interviews, like I said, with the group CEO for their headline sponsor. I don't know why the name just skipped me. Please, you are going to make that edit.
Old Mutual.
Yes, Old Mutual Ghana. No, group CEO. So Old Mutual. Yes, so he was there, Mr. Biza. We had so many interviews, and we basically anchored for the 2 days. So yes, Tech in Ghana was really exciting. It was fun. We had this place, eCampus, after they launched their brand. We're also at Tech in Ghana to showcase what the new vision for the company would be. We had IoT Ghana. We had some virtual realities. The kids were very excited about that. So it was a full-on, intense 2 days. It was really exciting. The food was good. I mean, moving quick, right? The organization was top notch. There's so much to learn about Tech in Ghana organization, and bringing all the people, right, from the diaspora to Ghana to basically have conversations about tech. I think it's a step in the right direction. Yeah.
Thanks. So also there was the Responsible AI Mixer by Alina Cole.
Yes, Alina Code, Daniela.
Yeah.
Daniela, yes, I joined that mixer as well. It was very exciting. We had one of the panelists from Microsoft, Effie. We also had some...
Oh, Effie, is it Debbie Vogue?
No.
Oh, okay.
She's American.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yes. Sure. So, I know the Debbie Vogue. That's, is it?
Ivy.
Yes, Ivy
okay,
Bali.
sure.
Yes. No, she was not the one. This Effie. So basically the conversations were on how companies can imbibe AI responsibly into their infrastructure, and the fact that we need to basically segment our data, document where we are using artificial intelligence. So as a company, if you are using artificial intelligence in marketing, you have to have a document, and then what to put in ChatGPT, what not to put in. I think one of the panelists, Daniela, mentioned that she was basically doing a quick search. She was going to speak on a panel, and then she was basically prompting another generative AI tool that she doesn't even use often. And then she told the AI that, okay, quick up, generate a quick profile about me. And the person even added Alena Co., which is a company she just started like a month ago. And she hadn't even put it in the chat. So she was very surprised about the fact that even if you don't even put the kind of private information, if someone else puts it in, it's somehow being trained. And so there's the need for us to basically be intentional about how we are using artificial intelligence, put us on guardrails, and as much as possible, educate everyone involved. AI governance does not only lie on the tech team, it lies in everyone in the stakeholder matrix. So it was a very exciting conversation. So I met old friends from Ibri Girls as well. Yeah.
Okay. So this Friday too, there was Code and Cocktails.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I was there. The tech party of the year. It was very fun. I met old colleagues from MEST, from previous workplace.
Okay.
There was, almost everyone there. It was a very fun night. Yeah, and we enjoyed ourselves basically. There was a lot of games. There was a lot of activity, trivias. Yeah, food, alcohol. Yeah, it was a very fun night.
Amazing.
So and also the same Friday, Rick Sports launched their only one human risk management platform. So Rick Sport, they had already demoed at Demo Friday.
Okay.
I think at our last Demo Friday, but they launched it this year. They launched it this Friday at Bureau. Yeah, that was also a nice event. Industry professionals were there. People are into cybersecurity and other stuff. And it was a very nice event. Also nice food. Yeah. The food was
Cool.
nice.
Looks like when you guys go, you really pay attention to the food.
It's part of the package.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
Nice.
all for What's Happening in Tech. It was brought to you by Tech Library. Check out Tech Library for more news article and also for previous episodes of Building Bytes.
Thank you very much, Poga. So now we are diving into our conversation. And I'd like both of you to introduce yourself and then what you do at Challenges Ghana.
Okay. So I think I'll go first.
Okay.
I am Victor Tete. I am the Business Development Associate with Challenges Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm Prince Kelly Anyomiche. I am a senior associate, and I currently lead on our Dennis Goldberg Scholarship Program, and then recently took up the Access to Finance lead in country for Ghana.
Sounds
Good to
exciting.
be here. Yeah, I'm excited about the Access to Finance part.
Okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
Challenges Ghana, 10 years of driving SME growth and sustainability with Challenges Ghana. I have your profile over here, but I want you to basically tell us about your company, Victor.
Okay, so Challenges Ghana is an enterprise development organization. We mainly work with SMEs, and we are part of the Challenges Group,
Okay.
which with offices we operate across the United Kingdom, Ghana, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Malawi, and Zambia. Yes. So when you come to Challenges Ghana, we are 10 years this year, as you mentioned. Yes, 10 years supporting SMEs across our service offerings, which cut across enterprise support, access to finance, market strategy and analysis, learning and leadership, and innovation. And just to touch a bit on learning and leadership, so across Sub-Saharan Africa, we are the training provider for the Chartered Management Institute of UK.
Wow.
So things around capacity building for the staff of organizations, and a lot of our service offerings are hinged on CMI methodologies as well. Yeah.
Nice. Interesting. Just wanted to kick back a little bit. You talk about both your positions. I want to know, what do you do in your position? Can you describe your day-to-day job? What are like your KPIs and all this stuff?
Okay, so as a business development lead in the Ghana office, so things around sourcing for partnerships, sourcing for projects, making new connections with other relevant organizations, seeing how do we create synergies within the ecosystem to be able to drive our work. And one of our values is collaboration. We believe in collaboration. We like to collaborate. So that is part of the things that we do. And how do we come up with innovative solutions to challenges? And as our name goes, challenges. We love to solve challenges, business challenges, obviously. Yes, so that's what. And aside business development, I also lead on the research, Plan International Ghana, research work for Plan International around fecal and organic waste management. Yeah.
Yeah. And he doesn't close his laptops. He's always busy.
Typical of tech guys.
Yeah. And I mean, the fact that we are on this set as well is a testament to his work as the BD lead. So for me, my day-to-day work challenges revolves largely around first, also leading on advisory work. So just like he said, leading on the Plan International. I currently lead on 2 projects that are running. One is a value chain analysis for the cassava value chain. And then I'm also supporting to help a business come up with a new business plan for them to enter the European and the North American market. So that's one side of my work. The other work I do as the program manager, acting program manager for our Remote Plus program, we call the Dennis Goldberg Scholarship Program, is basically supporting people within the construction management space as well as renewable energy space in Ghana, Zambia, and then Rwanda, acquire MSc degrees from HOAD University while still working within their organizations in these 3 countries. And then the last part, which is the access to finance work, is we are about to roll out a program that would help us provide funding to social enterprises in the sites that we operate in. So I'm the one leading on that role in Ghana as well. So largely, this is where my work revolves around within the organization.
What kind of financing?
For now, it's yet to be fully operationalized, but we are looking at different kinds. Some in the form of grants, in the form of debt, and even some that will come with TA support in addition. But that is still in the pilot phase. Yeah. But I'm sure we would delve a little more into that, because I heard you guys talk about grants earlier on. I was eavesdropping.
So you can see that he's a big man.
No.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe you can fund Demo Fridays coming up. Anyway, that's
we had a lengthy conversation with Poga on that some time back.
We'll talk about that. We need to come back again.
I know.
Okay, so as we are here with you, Kelly, can you just run us through how the organization has progressed over the 10 years from the time that you joined up till now?
Yeah. I would say it's been a very exciting and transformative journey, right? For us as an organization, and then for the people we work with.
Okay.
We started off 10 years ago as an organization that was basically supporting SMEs, but using young people as the vehicle. So we were funded by, back then it was called DFID, the Department for International Development, UK's international development arm.
Okay.
So like the way you have GIZ for Germany, and so the UK's was DFID back then. And they were running this program called the International Citizen Service that was running in Ghana, but then a few other African countries. And basically what they were seeking to do was to expose young people to development in sub-Saharan Africa and other parts. So they will bring volunteers from the UK, bring them to Ghana. Then we pair them up with Ghanaians, train them, and place them in Ghanaian SMEs to help those SMEs, just face off some of the challenges that they were having. So that was how we started 2014. I volunteered in 2015 as well to also support.
So just to kick you off your track a little bit, okay, you just finished. Then we talk about, how you got into the volunteering position and, your journey on that. But you can just continue.
Yeah, sure. But we did that for 4 years because that program ended in 2018. Okay. But for me, it was the genesis of a lot of big things that the company would eventually do. But then also seeing the impact that had on the young people that went through that program, the likes of myself and many other young people who are now either leading their own enterprises or working with other organizations using the skills that they had learned through that business support program that we went through.
Nice.
Yeah. So back to your question about how I joined in. So
what was your role? What were you doing? How you joined?
Yeah. When I was in uni, one of the things that I really enjoyed to do was to volunteer for.
What uni?
University of Ghana, obviously. And just to let you guys know, those who didn't go to UG here, we were just ranked the first in Ghana and the fifth in Africa, just to say. When I was in uni, one of the things I enjoyed was to volunteer for personal and professional development programs. So I was done with school and was trying to look for a more paying job by then. But a friend of mine, Damien, he's in the States now, he came across the ICS program and had gone to interview for it the day before and told me about it. But I wasn't interested because I told him I was looking for something that would pay me a lot more. But he convinced me, he actually helped me to apply for it. And then I went, and I went through the whole assessment. It was the first time I saw an assessment process that wasn't just an interview. So you had scenarios that were set up that you had to, speak to. We had role play situations. You had one-on-one interviews, and then you had presentations to do. So it was a whole day assessment. The first time I experienced something like that. And after it all, I was chosen. I had applied as a volunteer, but fortunately I was taken as a team lead. So we had different roles in there. You could either be a volunteer where you are assigned to businesses directly, or you could be a team lead who oversees the work of other young volunteers. So that's how I got into it in 2015.
In the volunteering position, what are like the roles people play in the volunteering position?
All right. So because the ultimate goal is in two forms: to support businesses, small businesses, and then secondly, to give young people, I would say, exposure to the world of work. You are trained largely in understanding how businesses operate, right? So if a business is set up, what are the core functions? what are the systems they have to put in place. So those are the trainings we give you first of all. So when you go into the business, we give you tools that allows you to diagnose the business.
Interesting.
So you sit with the business owner, ask them a few questions. Then you look at their leadership, you look at their organizational structure, you look at the finance management, you look at marketing, you look at HR. So there are different components of the business that they take the business owner through.
Okay.
Based on the responses and the evidence that is shown, we score those businesses, right? And then based on the scorecards, this young person who, based on training and their own innovative mindset, are supposed to now look for solutions, right? And those solutions are solutions that probably have been utilized in other businesses. They have seen in their own experiences. And also because of the large network of businesses they are operating with, they could also learn from their colleagues, right? Then you apply that to the business in which you are. But we don't just get them off to do the application. You research it and come back to the business owner with your suggestions and your recommendations. Those recommendations are put in front of a well-selected panel that we usually set up in the middle phase of the program. They critique what your recommendations are, give you suggestions on how well it could help the business owner. And then the next phase of the program, you then go on to apply those recommendations in the business. By the end of the program, they are supposed to come back with the business owner and then back then we used to call it the pitch deck, which was basically like an end of program presentation to tell us how much impact you were able to make in the business, help develop a roadmap for them, and then they take it up after you are gone. So that's largely the core role that this young people were playing in the business. But I think the collateral benefit was that they gained a broad understanding of how businesses operate. They begin to even gain some of those skills by themselves that eventually you either, when you leave that program, use that skill and sell it off to another business owner, or even start your own venture by yourself.
So if I understand you, at that time, it was more like an incubator program for businesses, Challenges Ghana.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Incubator, because some businesses obviously were just kicking off, right? So they needed to test their ideas. But the truth is, a number of the businesses were also operational. So they were not incubating ideas at all. They were very functional.
Accelerator.
Accelerated more or less, right? Or they were doing well, but just needed a push in certain aspects. So that's why you do the diagnosis from the beginning. So a business may just need help with marketing. So
the business come to you, or you go to them?
At that stage, I would say we used to chase them, because this was 2014, 2015. The ecosystem was not as vibrant as it is now. Okay. Back then, we used to chase after businesses. We go to their locations. I remember you going all the way to places like Weja, Dodowa, go sit with the business owners, convince them to join the program.
Interesting.
It's not like that these days. These days you have business. Exactly.
Wow.
But it tells you how well the ecosystem has developed over the years.
I'm actually very curious about that, because this is the first time I'm hearing something like this. An incubator or accelerator or whatever you want to call it, chasing a business. What was the criteria looking for the businesses? And you mentioned Weja. That means Challenges Ghana was located in East Legon, but not only functional in East Legon, was basically touring across the country. Yeah,
I'll say a lot of things have changed, and I'm sure Victor is waiting for me to move on, so we go to the next phase of challenges, right? Back then, we actually didn't even have a physical office location.
Okay.
We didn't at all, and if you understand the typical style of how some funded programs operated back then, you don't want to even own assets, right? Because that's really not your focus. You want to push a lot more of the funding into the core work that you are doing. So we didn't have a physical space. I was still on campus by then. Okay. So we used to do some of our meetings and activities from the Impact Hub in those days. And then Osu, back then, So if we wanted to even run trainings, we ran training on campus. So the Alumni Center on campus was one of the places we used to do trainings. The University of Ghana BAM Library Conference Center, we used to do trainings there. The economics department, they had some space, conference rooms there that we also used to used back then. But the criteria was it was low back then. You just needed to be operational. You needed to be at least a year old in business, but you needed to prove that you were interested in supporting young people, right? Because these young people were coming in, they'll pose questions at you. Some were not comfortable, right? So you needed to prove that you were interested in doing that with us. And I guess that was it. Yeah. But like I said, all that ended in 2018. And then we are in the new phase, which I think Victor would like to jump more onto.
Yeah. So before we get to the new phase, I don't know, when did you, Victor, get in Challenges Ghana?
So I encountered Challenges in 2022.
Okay.
This was through the Youth to Work program,
Okay.
which was being funded by Future Makers through the Standard Chartered Foundation. And this is a program. I'll just talk a little bit on the program.
Okay.
It started in 2020,
but piloted in 2019.
2019, yeah. And then it ended last year, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
So, yeah.
I know you have a lot of good programs that you're ending. I don't know why.
And better ones coming up.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. So this program is very novel. I really haven't seen anything. There are similarities, but it really stands out. Youth to Work. So as it says, Youth to Work, where there is a youth side and there's the enterprise side. So the main aim of this program was to pair young people, who we call junior associates, with SMEs. And these young people go and provide business advisory and business and development services for these SMEs. So we first go out, we recruit the SMEs, we do an onboarding for them, and then we also get young people, mostly graduates, to apply for the program. We shortlist, we do an orientation, and then we pick the cohorts for it. It was cohort based.
Okay.
Yes. So once this is done, we take them through an intensive training, and before they are even paired with their SMEs, we have business consultants who go into these SMEs, and then we go and conduct diagnostics. And as Challenges, as you mentioned, we've worked with so many SMEs over the years, not just in Ghana, but across all our country sites. And because there is that synergy and there is that strong collaboration, so we can work in Ghana and you are very much abreast with whatever technology, whatever innovation that maybe a Rwandan team or Ugandan team is using. So we try to merge all these things. So our diagnostics too is tried and tested. So we go in and do an in-depth diagnostics, more like 360 across the entire business. So by the time we are done, we are able to pinpoint the specific areas where there are problems within your business. So you as a business owner, you may think that, okay, you have a sales and marketing problem. But we realize that, no, it's in your operations, and we will prove to you, and you realize that, okay, indeed, this is where the problem is.
So I'm a little bit interested in how you do that. How you're able to get into somebody's business and do that, because I believe people might know their business a little bit much more than somebody from the outside to do. So how do you successfully achieve that?
Okay, so I'll just give you a little brief, but not too much in depth. So since it's our own property,
yeah.
So yeah. So we look at things from your operations, from your finance, from your sales and marketing. We do a
Do you sign an NDA?
Yes, we do.
Businesses? Okay.
Yes, we do. We sign an NDA. Yes, so we do, and it's very intense.
Okay.
And it takes. So we always notify them that this will take some time.
Okay.
So we need your full cooperation. And the idea is that we are coming to help you. So if you really want us to help you, then give us good information or accurate information that is on the ground, right? So we have that session. And then as you are asking, there are certain things, criteria that we are looking out for, that we are putting down, that we are observing. So aside from what we are hearing from you, we are also observing certain things. Now, based on the information that we have gotten, this tool helps us to understand the specific areas or pain points that are facing. And you realize that once we present you that, okay, this and this, most agree that indeed. Some will say that, okay, I think finance, we are fine. By the time we are done, they realize that, I think you really elaborated on the exact problem that I'm facing. Some are even new. Oh, I didn't know I had this problem. Oh, okay, thank you for opening my eye to this. So yes, it's more about a win-win situation or collaboration between us and the business owner. If you really, because ideally, if you want us to support you, give us right information. And then based on this information, it will determine the kind of support we give you. So like I mentioned, based on the insight, if you realize that it's perhaps a finance problem, then we get a finance. So we have tracks. So we have the sales and marketing track, we have the finance track, and we have the operations track. So if it's a finance problem, a junior associate who is on the finance track, and obviously we like to pick junior associates who already have some finance background from school, and then we build up on it based on the training that we give to them. And then we pair them with the business. So they become almost like your employee. They come and then they work with you to help. And this is very tailored support. So he's not coming to necessarily do operational sales and marketing. He's coming to support you in your finance wing. If there is some allocation, he should see other areas where he can support based on his time or her time, then he can provide that support. And as they are doing this, we used to have bi-weekly meetings. So the junior associates come back, we take them through training. So there is that. We are always in touch with the junior associate to ensure that they are providing support and we are behind the scenes also. So if there are any issues, they come back to us, we give them insights and they go back in and then they provide that support. And we don't also leave their businesses out. There are master classes that we used to hold. We bring in experts to come and train the business owners on new and modern techniques of doing business.
And all this is the youth to work.
Exactly. The youth to work program.
How many programs aside the youth to work do you have? Or just one?
No, we have a few more. But I just also want to make a comment on your question around the business owner presumably knowing more about their business. And you're absolutely right. So the mindset we have is that we come to work with the business. We never go in there with the intention that, oh, we are Superman, Superwoman coming to. No, we can't even do that. I mean, I know, right? We don't do that because the truth is, and based on the experience we have had over the years, most of the times, the business owners either suspect what you eventually come and tell them, or they already know it, but they are just looking for how to solve the problem. I don't know if you get me. So our approach is we come to work with you. We let you understand that the solution we are even coming to recommend might not work if we don't have your full buy-in. So the process we are taking you through is basically just to understand where your business is and where the best solution could come from. The solution might not even come from us per se. He mentioned earlier on about partnerships, collaboration, and seeking support from where it is already existent within the ecosystem. So if we are speaking to somebody who maybe is working within the shea value chain, right? And what they need is access to machinery. And we identify that from our diagnostics. We do not have access to machinery to provide, but we can identify a player within the ecosystem that offers that kind of support. And then there is a linkage. So the truth is, usually the business owners, they know their stuff. What you get to uncover is that they probably do not have enough time to resolve the issue, or the capacity of the skills and the capacity of the individuals they work with is not to a level that would allow them adequately resolve that issue. So when you come in with the junior associate or the consultant, then he or she offers some level of support as well to the team members, builds their capacity, and then they can work eventually without the absence of those individuals as well. Your question was, do we have other programs aside youth work? Yeah, we do. We do have other programs. So Victor mentioned that we have different packages of services that we offer. Okay. So now we are speaking post 2018, right? Okay. The challenges from 2014 all the way to 2018 was largely focused on youth development and then SME support. But the challenges post that time is offering services under enterprise support. So because we work with so many businesses, the portfolio is huge. By 2018, we had worked with over close to 300 businesses. In Accra, we worked in Kumasi as well. You had Axel and we worked in Kumasi. We piloted in Tamale as well. So worked with a few businesses in Tamale. Youth work came to add from 2021 all the way to 2023. And that has upped the number as well. And if you work with this number of businesses, obviously it helps you understand some of the challenges within the space. So our enterprise support service is to now provide advisory support to businesses, right? And this could be in the form of designed programs, which is like the You to Work, or individual consultancy services that we provide to businesses, leveraging the knowledge that we've gained over the years. Then we also have market analysis and strategy as a service that we usually do with ecosystem players who have an interest in impact-driven areas. So let's say the likes of GCIC. GCIC works with green businesses, right?
That's
But
Ghana
Climate Innovations Center. But those businesses have products that they want to bring to market.
Yeah.
People will not just jump on it because it's green. So how do you get such a product to market? So GCIC will engage challenges like they did in 2019 and 2020 for us to do a market research for those selected businesses that were going through their program. So we traveled across the country, explored different markets, understand how people look out for in products like that, people's willingness to patronize it, the price points, who are their competitors. So a purely market intelligence sort of work that we also do generally for businesses and then ecosystem players. Then we have the learning and leadership as another arm of service that we offer. Why is this in place? This is in place because we've also noticed that the support you give to businesses sometimes does not have to end at building systems. It's also about empowering the right individuals to be able to manage those systems, right? So who are the leaders in the organization? Who are the managers in the organization? What sort of skills do they have? What kind of mindset do they have? So we have learning and leadership, which we spoke about our partnership with the Chartered Management Institute to roll out such trainings for them. The scholarship program I spoke about also falls under that arm, where we are building the capacity of people both in academia and professional training to be able to lead within their various organizations. Then the last part is access to finance. We, so far, except in Rwanda, we don't give direct capital. We don't do that yet. In Rwanda, we are piloting that. So we actually have invested directly in some businesses, which is why the access to finance role I spoke about just started. We have started researching around that in Ghana. We actually did a whole research last year together with the British Council and then ICR. We've thought about a social enterprise fund, which we are going to be operationalizing soon, and then would open the space for us to begin to invest directly in SMEs. So these are the 4 different services, and under each of these services, we have programs or projects that run.
Interesting.
Innovation as well.
Yes, exactly.
Innovation.
And how do you use technology in these programs?
Okay.
I'd say for an organization like Challenges, we work remotely. So in-house, before I even talk on how we do that in our programs as an organization among staff, we make a good use of these technological tools, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, to be able to work seamlessly, share documents, work on projects at the same time across various country sites. We work virtually a lot. I always look forward to our Monday morning meetings. Where we and most times we don't turn on our cameras. So
I was wondering why you enjoy Monday.
Right?
And it's all I didn't want to say it because I know he'll say it in the next meeting that Kelly's probably not paying attention.
So as an organization, we really leverage a lot on online tools, and even coming to our programs and our projects and how we leverage. And it's good you mentioned this because I know Building Bytes is a strong advocate for tech within the space. So on one of our projects, the Newmont project, this was also started in 2019.
2019,
ended last year. This was mainly within the agric space where so I'll just briefly take you through what the program was about and dive into the particular innovation. So the Newmont project started with a feasibility study, right? So there was within the I don't know if you heard of the Esutifi Processing and Services Center.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I think I don't know if I should let Kelly, since Kelly is the one of the pioneers or one of the people who actually worked on this particular project. Yeah, but what we did as an organization initially, because this was a factory that was defunct, ginger and chili pepper factory was defunct. So we
Ginger and what?
chili pepper.
So
Yes.
they were processing it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
And it wasn't working.
it wasn't working at
Was
the
it
time.
into paste or powder?
It was powder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at that time, normally mines, because of the work that they do, it was within the Ahafo region, because of the work that they do, they always look at projects that support the entire community. And this was a community that had a lot of smallholder farmers. And once this factory is down, how then are they able to access the market and sell their produce? So there was an initial feasibility study that was conducted, very extensive. And then a business plan was developed on why this factory should be revamped. And Kelly was one of the people who worked on this fantastic work. And then Newmont invested into this factory and brought it up.
Wow.
Now the factory is working. How then do we feed into this factory? And then challenges came in and said, okay, we would set up an outgrower scheme where we would work with smallholder farmers, support them, and then they would then feed. So now the factory becomes an off-taker of all that they produce.
Wow.
So we supported 570 smallholder farmers. A lot of them were women. Over time, through agriculture extension services, credit, input models, there were so many innovations that were done to support these farmers. And now their livelihood has improved. They know that once we farm and we harvest, I'm not going to think of how am I transporting this. There is a factory that is ready to offtake everything and then go and produce. And now livelihood has improved. The factory is operating. It's employing people, and I always look at the impact side of things. And one of the things that happened was during this project, farmers need a lot of input. So fertilizer, knapsack sprayers, and even setting up irrigation systems and all. So there was this credit model that was established by Challenges. So we had those who supply the products, and then we had the farmers. So we said, okay, we'll be like an intermediary, right? Between you and then the farmers, the smallholder farmers. And then we say, okay, we want you to put a skin in the game. So smallholder farmers, whatever thing that you need, whatever input you need, just match up with between 10 to 15% of the total amount. And then the rest you pay gradually over time. And then this model worked fantastic. And we also came up with an app called MapMeet. It was developed by one of the volunteers on the ICS program that
ICS?
Yes, International Citizen Service.
Okay.
Yes, the first that had the UK coming and pairing with the Ghanaian. Yes.
Yeah.
So they developed the MapMate app, and this was an app that we were using in conjunction with the agri extension officers who were providing support with the farmers who were checking things like their yield. We were tracking, I think, rainfall patterns. There were a lot of things that is
basically a farmer management app.
Exactly, like a farm management app that we were using to track all the entire support that we're giving to all of these 570 smallholder farmers. Yes, and I think we are still open for collaboration. I know you are in the tech space. There's a lot more that we can do to see how we can infuse a lot of tech into some of our projects that we are running. I don't know if Kelly has any.
Yeah, so I think you started off by speaking about how we use tech. We leverage tech solutions within our organization. We work largely remotely, hybrid in Ghana anyway, but because we have other sites, we work remotely with those teams, and a lot of our operations are online. We use SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, and all those other things. But from a direct enterprise support point of view, in the portfolio of businesses that we have supported over the years, there have been some tech businesses in there as well. Some, my recollection based from the ICS days, I don't know if you've heard of Kisima.
No.
So Kisima was this app developed a few years ago. I don't know if they are still operational, but they were trying to resolve the issue of royalty systems, where you know how
or
music, exactly.
Okay.
How you play people's music and you are unable to really track.
Yeah.
So Kisima developed an app that was seeking to solve that problem, and they were part of the ICS program back then. I know they had got some partnership with Musiga back in, but I've not heard about them in recent times. They were one of those who were on the program. We had Complete Farmer. Complete Farmer was part of our program, and some of your MES guys actually came through. Our strongest category of businesses were not necessarily tech.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if it was maybe because of the time as well.
Yeah.
2014, 2015, thereabout. I don't think we had as many tech solutions as we have now. So a lot of our businesses were very agribusiness, agri-processing, fashion, and a lot more of that. But we did have health, but we did have a few tech guys. But I just can't recollect some of them. But Bizzo Money as well.
I think
Bizzo.
we talked about that.
I
think it
Bizzo.
was with a Stanbic Youth for Work program.
Bizzo as well came through. So
Standard Chartered.
a few of them came through as well. But we also leverage partnerships with tech-based solutions to support businesses. So he spoke about MapMate.
Okay.
We also are currently even having conversations with the likes of Oze,
Okay.
right? Because they have like a business management system
Yeah.
already in their setup. So we are trying to partner with them to see how we can leverage that, and even the access to finance bit as well.
Yeah.
So we had conversation with them recently to see how we can pilot that in Rwanda potentially. So I would say we are very much open to that as well. What we want to do is that the truth is we can't solve everything by ourselves.
Yeah.
It's a lot more easier if you can leverage tech.
Yeah.
It makes it quicker. It makes the solutions even more hands-on and easily understood by the business owner, because everything comes within one space. So that's how I would say we work with tech. But even software as a solution on the side, because of the kind of businesses we work with, you can even look at technology from purely equipment and machinery point of view. Because there are certain businesses we work with that they just need a little bit sophisticated machines to do or perform better at the jobs that they are doing. So I'll say that's how we largely interact with technological tools.
So you mentioned your support for women. Do you have any specific program targeted towards marginalized groups of people, or what's your commitment towards those group of peoples?
Okay, yes. So quite a number of programs that we are running, and we have run, and we will be running, that seeks to support. So, like I mentioned, some of the sectors we worked across migration. So, in partnership with the International Organization for Migration, we run between. So there was a first one in 2019, and there was a second one in 2022.
Okay.
Which we call the Economic Reintegration Program, where returnee migrants from Niger, from Libya, who had come into the country, we take them through the reintegration program, where we try to understand first, mostly when these people come back, there's a lot of things that they are thinking about. Some may have sold everything that they have to leave, so they come back, and it's difficult for them to reintegrate into society economically. So what we do is that we try to understand where they have interest in.
Yeah.
Then we take them through a series of training, so capacity building, business advisory, and then we help them to set up business plans based on a specific business they want to venture into. So be it in agri, be it in retail, be it in poultry, farming, wherever they have their interest in. So we give them that tailored support, and then we help them to actually establish.
Yeah.
Yes. So there is funding for us to help them set up. So normally we don't just give them fiscal cash like this. So depending, we can, together with the supplier, provide money, they provide the goods, and then we help to set them up. So that's for the returnee migrants program. We are currently working with the site savers on a program for persons with disabilities. So we call it Economic Empowerment Project, where we are supporting 120 persons with disabilities who are entrepreneurs.
Wow.
Yes, so it's been run. So we support some in the central region, and some were also based in Accra. So in the Site Savers, Challenges Ghana, and also with partnership from the ABAC Foundation, they help to source these GWDs. And then Challenges comes in and we provide that. So we do the orientation, we take them through training, and then the business advisory comes in where we do the one-on-one. So we don't just, after the training, we visit you in your business regularly and then try to understand based on the trainings that we've given you to see if you are implementing it, if there are areas that we are falling short, and we can actually provide you with that support. Yes, so this is for persons with disabilities, entrepreneurs. And then even in terms of women, there has been a whole a lot of push for supporting women across programs. And I would say for Challenges, we have more like a gender lens approach to a lot of the programs that we run, where we try to give a lot more allocation for women and young girls.
How much?
I would say almost like 60%. Yes. So if we are recruiting, we have a quota. We need more girls in our program. That's always the ideology. For the returning migrants, the same. Okay, for that one, they provide them to us, so we don't really have a say for that. But for persons with disabilities, we look at more women than and even indeed, we always get a lot of women than the men. So these are some of the things and the ways that we try to support. And I'll also even talk about our Youth to Work program, where we deliberately recruited young people. So we had some young people. There was one lady who had, I think it was a hearing
impairment.
Yes, she had a hearing impairment.
Okay.
So what we did was she joined fully. So every time they come and I told you we used to do a lot of regular training. So anytime she comes for training, we, with partnership with the Ghana Federation they provided us with a sign language instructor. So there were certain times, and it was not just one person.
Yeah.
It was two.
Yeah.
So every time she's there, a sign language person has to be with her.
Interesting.
And we even included sign language training as part of the module so that the other junior associates become abreast, so that in a little way they can communicate with her through sign language. And
so
that's
do you know how to do the sign language?
I think right now I'm a bit I'm a bit rusty, but yes, that's how the extent to which we go in. And I must commend Marcel. Marcel is our country is currently leading the setup of our office in Tanzania. And Pearl, who was leading the youth wing of the Youth to Work project, and the sort of passion and support that they put into seeing how that inclusivity, ensuring that everybody feels, you don't feel different, that it's a big thumbs up for them. So we had people who had working issues. We provided support for them just to ensure that they don't feel left out. And this is somebody who was placed within an enterprise to work, and they always had these people follow them in and support them with the sign language. So when it comes to marginalized people, we take them very seriously in all the programs that we run.
I see your impact is spread across. So I just have two questions before we move on to the next phase of Challenges Ghana. So on your lessons, what are some skills that you know that SMEs need to grow in Ghana? What are some of the skills? That's the first question. And then the second question would be, how do you measure impact for these businesses? So,
Okay.
Victor and Kelly, do you want to go? Victor, you want to go?
Okay. So in terms of the skills, and I think these are things that we've seen over time. And as Kelly said, some of the businesses, they even know that we need this thing. But at times I don't know if it's more about the effort or dedicating time to how do I sit down and actually learn the skill, and realize that in terms of bookkeeping, most people think that, I need to have some kind of accounting background, so we realize that it's a big problem, bookkeeping. And even communication is another issue. How do you even communicate what you are doing? How do you sell yourself? A lot of businesses don't actually know how to sell themselves and even their products. So you later realize that you have a wonderful product, but unless you dig in and realize, okay, this is what you are doing, how come we are not hearing so much about you? You realize that communication is also another thing, and how systems and structures within organizations are put in place. So for us, bookkeeping, or I'll say from my end, bookkeeping, communication, these are major skills that a lot of businesses are lacking, and also taking advantage of social media within the tech space, taking advantage of social media. And I think that's why the boom of the tech space in Ghana is a very good thing, where now there are a lot more opportunities. A lot of young people are venturing in and seeing how they can support at least the older entrepreneurs to see how they can inculcate tech within their business. And we can see that it's thriving, but a little more effort from at least the older generation of entrepreneurs to be able to embrace tech and see how it can push their business.
Maybe can we talk about the impact?
The impact we've
How we
had,
measure impact.
or how we measure impact.
Yeah.
So I'll look at that in two ways. One is how we do that objectively based on each business's engagement that we have with them. So I mentioned earlier on about the diagnostic tool that we use for the initial understanding of the business. That in itself is an impact measurement tool. So based on the different areas of the business, when we engage with you, so let's say we Building Bytes, is a running or a functioning business that is signed up, or we decide to work with you. Our very first exploratory meeting with you would set up the tone for such engagement. We ask you some of those questions. We ask you questions around leadership, management, marketing, all those things. Then we input the responses into the tool. By the time we are done with that engagement, it scores your business generally, right? And it gives you scores based on each of these areas. So let's say you scored 40, 30, 20 in each of these areas, and it gives a final score. So that's a baseline score. After we've given the intervention, in quotes, so we give you the intervention, or we've worked with you over a period of time, then we score at the end as well. So let's say after 12 weeks or 15 weeks or whatever, depending on duration, we score at the end. Presumably there should be an increase or an appreciation. If there isn't, it means obviously either the solution was wrong or it wasn't delivered right. So that in itself is an impact measurement tool, right? So that's our very basic and first way of measuring impact. The second is also certain initiatives that we put in place ourselves. There is one we call Where Are They Now? So after we worked with the businesses on the ICS program, after 2 years, we went back to do something we call the Where Are They Now initiative, basically seeing what impact has been had on these businesses over that period of time after implementing some of the solutions, or even not just implementing it, but because they had gone through it, the knowledge and the skills that they have gained, how is that being utilized over the period of time? So that's another way that we measure impact. And the last but not the least, I would say, is the very subjective ones, right? Where we do the likes of Youth to Work, we do the likes of the IOM program, which was for the returned migrants. And there are individual case studies that we are able to pick out, right? And so, okay, this person went through the program, this is how they are doing now. We are able to tell their story afterwards. And that's even on the SME side. The same can be applied for the young persons. So we've had so many young persons that have gone through the program now that are using the skills that they've gained, right, to either begin their own ventures or work in other organizations, or simply even work within the advocacy space. So there is another component of the program that we run called the active citizenship, which is to get people to become more inclined to pushing the subject of development, right? Through enterprising solution, right? So yes, you are helping a business, but know that you are doing that so they can impact the Ghanaian economy. So there's an advocacy component of what we do as well. And it makes the young people that go through the program become more alive to the things that are happening around them. It could be the subject of climate change. It could be the subject of nutrition or anything. They then pick up all these other subjects and push it as well.
I like that you're even measuring the people you're working with, the impacts your program is having on them. I think this is very laudable, and any young person would be very excited to work with Challenges Ghana. I was about to ask where are they now, and I'm not going to ask. Anyway, so moving on to the next phase after 10 years, what does it look like for Challenges Ghana?
I think let's step back a little bit and
Okay.
talk about your 10-year celebration. What are the stuff you're doing? A little bit about that before we look at the next stage.
Okay, so for that, we are looking at it in like 3 different phases. The first is doing some very good introspection as an organization.
Okay.
Like we touched on briefly, we've gone through like different phases. Some very uncomfortable as an organization because we had to at a point transition from the phase of just purely delivering youth support and enterprise support programs to adding on all the other services that I added. And it wasn't easy because you are venturing into the very competitive space. So it's a period of introspection. So the first phase of our anniversary celebrations is going to be internal. So we are going to hold internal introspection activities. What are some of the things that we've been able to do right? What are some of the things we haven't been able to do right? Where should we be looking going forward from an enterprise or organizational level perspective, but even in the human capital perspective as well, right? The people that are working for the organization, what skills should we be acquiring? What competencies should we be looking at? So that's going to be the first phase of the anniversary. The second phase is going to be one of appreciation and acknowledging those we have worked with all these years. There have been people who really, really supported us, right, over the years, either through partnerships or even providing us opportunities to work. I spoke about Impact Hub earlier on. In those early days, Impact Hub was very, very helpful to us. We used their space for work. There are some programs that we held at their location. I spoke about University of Ghana, the likes of GCIC, InnoHub, so we work with different people in different shapes and form, Standard Chartered and all that. So, they've given us repeated work, which is great. So the second phase will be a phase of acknowledgement, appreciation, and this will involve us paying either physical visits to some of these people or basically acknowledging them through our social media platforms and all that. And the third one is now going to be the strategic moving forward, right? What do we want to do in the next 10 years? As a global entity, and we forgot to mention that we are 10 in Ghana, but as a global organization, we are 25. We've been working since 99. So we have a general strategy from 2024 all the way to 2029, which is a 5-year plan. We are going to feed off that plan and develop an internal Ghana strategy. So Victor obviously speak about the kind of people we want to partner with moving forward, the kind of projects that we want to do moving forward. So that's the third arm of the celebration, and that will be climaxed with an ecosystem event that we'll be organizing that would likely feature around the subject of the Social Enterprise Fund, which we researched around last year. Bring ecosystem players around, have a conversation about it, and talk about how to operationalize that moving forward. So that's the anniversary celebration in a wrap.
I'm already excited about it.
What's the timeline for this celebration?
So we are looking at doing the internal introspections before we go on the break. And then the phase 2 and 3 would happen when we return in January. And so it would largely be around the first quarter of the year.
Nice. Okay. So I think we can move on to beyond that. What's the next phase for Challenges Ghana? I think you mentioned a little bit about your 5-year plan. Beyond that, what are you planning as Challenges?
Okay. Like I mentioned, Challenges, we are looking forward to doing big things, and we believe in going along with others. So that is why we believe in collaboration, synergy, and seeing how we can collaborate to work a lot more with more partners within the international development space, to collaborate and support on projects. We want to do a lot more agric-focused projects, see how we can leverage on our technical assistance offering and provide technical assistance to businesses. So we are seeing a lot more businesses who receive funding and then they are left alone. But then after they receive funding, do they have that support where somebody will hold their hand and ensure that that money is put to judicious use? And research has shown that indeed a lot of entrepreneurs say, don't just give us money, but give us money and also be coaching us from the background how to put this money here, do this is going to help you. So that is where technical assistance comes in, where we want to support a lot more businesses and also really venture into the space where Kelly mentioned access to finance, go very big on it, and also leveraging on the research that we have done for British Council, Social Enterprise Ghana, to establish the Social Enterprise and Innovation Fund. See how we can work with and not just look at ourselves, like I mentioned. So take an ecosystem perspective. So work with players within the ecosystem, create that synergy and see how we can support social enterprises. And with time, move on to general MSMEs within the ecosystem with access to finance.
I just to also add on that.
Okay.
Fortunately, we've had the opportunity to work in almost all the regions. Like our work has taken us to almost all the regions in the country, except for the Volta region.
Why?
So I wouldn't say there's any deliberate reason.
Okay.
We just haven't done work there yet. Which is, I was thinking about it just a few days. I'm like, it's quite strange. That's my region anyway. Because I was interviewing one guy from Edmas there in the cassava value chain where I was like, you guys always interview, but you don't bring anything to our place. You know, which is sad. So for me, one of the exciting things will be getting work to do in the Volta region as well. So we can hit our chest and say we've worked in all the regions in the country, which is one. We also look forward to doing more work in the West African sub-region. Interestingly, a lot of our work has been in East Africa. Outside of Ghana, a lot of our work has been in East Africa. And it's strange that I wouldn't say we haven't explored. We've had some previous works, just that they didn't go through successfully. So we are looking forward to doing work within West Africa as well, French-speaking West Africa, especially, because there's a lot of potential there.
Can you speak French?
No, I can't, but I'm willing to learn it next year. There's a lot of potential in French-speaking West Africa. Benin is doing quite well. Even Togo, there are some very exciting fintech solutions that are coming up in areas like that. You
mentioned Cote d'Ivoire first.
Cote d'Ivoire as well. You know what to remind me of Utuado is, guys. But yeah, so for me, that's one other thing that we are looking at, to explore the West African sub-region as well. And then we mentioned earlier on about leveraging a lot of tech solutions. We believe strongly that with the new phase, we are going to be working with so many other SMEs and potentially even those within the medium category than the micro and small. And for businesses at that scale, it's easier to deliver intervention when it runs on tech solutions, right? Because they already have the operational setup in place. So you want tech solutions that allows them to easily integrate it into their systems, and then it helps run. So we would be very much looking for it. And that's why it's great to speak to people like yourself who always interface with the tech ecosystem, see new innovative ideas that are coming up. So that's another one that I would like to add to it.
Exactly.
You know,
and as an organization, we believe in helping businesses to maximize their potential so that they can deliver better solutions to global challenges. So I think the next phase is collaborating more, providing a lot more support to businesses through our service offerings, looking a lot more within the youth space, around capacity building, around youth employability, youth entrepreneurship, and the agricultural space. And also going heavy on ensuring that we are able to support a lot more persons with disabilities, a lot more women as well.
Okay, thank you very much for mentioning that. Okay, so now, still on collaboration, do you have some particular organizations you are looking to collaborate with moving forward? Or you don't want to mention them right now?
No, I mean, I want to mention them.
Yeah, mention them because they are going to hear about it.
MasterCard is one organization. We've sort of we've been flirting with them a little in different shapes and form. But we will be excited to have like a big program partnership with MasterCard. We know their interest currently is in agri. a lot of.
So that's why you're veering towards agriculture.
No, not necessarily.
I'm just kidding.
Not necessarily. I mean, they are also an organization that they take strategic decisions as the years go by. I know they were quite big in education.
Yeah.
But
they
from
are
last
still
year,
big.
from last year to this year, they've sort of added that grade as well. So, in Rwanda, our team there is doing some work with them slightly. So we are hoping that we can leverage that and then do some work with them in Ghana.
I think we also want to work with AGRA.
Yep,
AGRA as well. That's one organization that we are looking forward to. Hopefully we can collaborate. And this is based off on insights that we have on their current focus. And we've seen how, based on our experience and expertise, we can provide some level of push to support them and see how we can achieve goals together, help them to achieve their goals. So AGRA, a lot more international NGOs that are looking within the youth space, helping a lot of youth, because that is one of our big areas where we have a lot of expertise in supporting youth, and also within the PWD space as well.
And even conservation. So one of our areas of work is largely rural conservation programs. So like NOE, for instance, NOE is a French NGO that helps communities that live in areas with reserves to try and protect those reserves by providing them with alternative economic empowerment opportunities. So they've been one of our very reliable partners over the years, giving us repeated work, and we are grateful to them for that. So we also want to work with people within that space as well. And I mean, generally within the international development space, people who have the funding and are looking for organizations that have got the right mindset, the right attitude, and the right commitment to deliver work, right? Even beyond what we've been asked to do. We are very open to collaborating with them. Tech innovative companies as well, right? Who are looking for people who are working within the general business space, but can use their tools to deliver solutions. We are open to having those conversations and partnerships as well. And I mean, any other thing, that one of our values is we always find a way, right? So it might not be something we are looking for now, but nobody knows what tomorrow holds. So it always begins with a conversation, and we are willing to have conversation with anyone who is impact driven.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think I'll do this last question. What's your outlook on the SME industry? What do you think will be the next big thing for them? What should they prepare for? Are we seeing them striving? What's your general looking at SMEs? What's your outlook or prediction for it?
Prophet Victor, do you want to go first?
I mean, based on your experience,
Okay, I think let me just pray in tongues for some time. But that's just on the lighter side. As Kelly mentioned, when you go back to around 2014, 2015, the space wasn't really vibrant like that. But now you see that there is a lot more focus. And even I must say that the government is doing a lot of work, or has done a lot of work over the years, supporting from MBSSI to GEA, and you feeling a lot of the programs and the support that they are giving to SMEs. And aside that, we are seeing a lot of attention from development partners who are coming in, like the MasterCard, supporting a lot of SMEs. There are a lot of programs going on. We see it from the Association of Ghana Startups, Ghana Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs. We see a lot of these chambers and these hubs who are doing a lot of work within the space. So I say that moving forward, there's a lot of work. There is a lot of growth going to happen within the space in the next 5 to 10 years. However, a lot of businesses need to leverage on tech. Other than that, they will be left behind. So that is where I see a lot of the switch. Yes, it's good to do the traditional business, but then I'm seeing a lot of switch in the area of businesses brainstorming and seeing, how do I infuse tech and how do I infuse sustainability within? my business to ensure that I stay relevant and I'm able to continue to stay in existence, even if there isn't too much external funding or support coming in. Within, how do I create a model that protects the environment, ensures the sustainability of my business, and ensure that I'm up to speed with the current tech innovations? Yeah.
You've given them their hope for the future.
Yeah, let me also just add a little bit.
Okay.
I think the advent of generative AI would play a lot of role moving forward. And this is whether you are a tech startup or not. But I am even looking at it through the lens of availability of skilled persons. Yeah. Right. A lot more young people now would be open to doing work that is going to get them stuck in one location for too long.
Hey.
So as a business owner, you also need to come to the understanding that the person working for you now would be actively looking for ways that they can feel a lot more comfortable, by their own convenience and time, and do work at their own pace, right? That usually affects traditional work where there are systems and operations in place where people have to be stuck there for long. So business owners need to be open that the kind of skilled individuals that are going to be available may not always be the right fit for their kind of business. So my point is that if you have people who are committed and working with you, you should treat them well. As an SME, generally treat them well, because if you lose them, it might be difficult to replace them with the kind of individuals that are committed to you, like those you have now.
We should definitely highlight this part.
It's a good point that I want SMEs to take note of, but also they can themselves leverage tech solutions and AI and all that to do some of the things now, right? Now you don't even need to learn bookkeeping from scratch. If you're able to understand how to use tech solutions or leverage already existing softwares, you should be able to do that without relying 100% on some other person. So you should find that fair balance between learning about it yourself and then also handling in a very professional and tactful way people who do that for you.
Yeah.
Then there's also a lot going on within the sustainability space now. A lot of things are being looked at through the lens of sustainability. So we have the environment, social and then governance, which is called ESG now. Yeah. And almost all the financial institutions are jumping onto that. Yeah. And the international development agencies are doing the same.
Yeah.
So as a business owner, you need to begin to understand that concept first of all, and also think of how you can apply that concept within your operations, because it helps you to strike more relevant partnerships now. It helps you to access funding more easier if you can prove and demonstrate that is being used within your business. And even if you were a core climate related business, and you're able to demonstrate that your solution is able to reduce carbon emission and all those other things, then it helps you to even access funding through the carbon market and other places. So as a business owner, that's also another place that I would say people should pay attention to. At least just have conversations, attend certain events that helps you get exposed to that area one way or the other. The last but not the least is also the opportunity and potentially the challenge that the free trade market offers. We still have not got our way around it yet, particularly in Ghana, because I don't think we've gone to the stage like other countries have got to. But it provides some good opportunity where our businesses can explore the African markets and send their products out there. Because I think we have some really, really good products. When I was in Kigali recently, I took products from Aris, Aris to that place. She does lip balm and some beautiful stuff. And they were excited about it, So we've got the prospect, we can do well. And I think businesses should take advantage of that. They should learn about it. There are so many trainings that are ongoing. There are so many other entities that are providing knowledge-based support to businesses within the country who want to understand the free trade program. But also, if you flip it, that's potentially competition, right? Because if you can take your product here and access the Nigerian, the Rwandan, or the Ugandan market, the same way they can do same within your market. So quality counts. Quality of even customer service counts is very, very important. So our businesses should be aware of that and do well. They should seek for support where it is needed. They should seek for partnership where it is needed, and to just keep doing the right thing. And I think we all be good for it.
And I just feel like I need to add one thing, which is research.
Sure.
Research. As an organization, we take a market systems approach to the support we give to businesses. So we don't just look at you as a standalone business, but we look at the entire value chain that you operate in. And then based on the understanding that we have, we help to tailor the support that we give you that fits within your value chain. And I think this is supported by virtue of the number of research that we've done over the years and we continue to do. And research is very, very important to any intervention or any solution that you want to provide to your business. So I want to say that businesses should take research a lot more seriously.
They should come to Challenges Ghana.
Yes, if
They should.
they should come to
They
us.
should. No cap. They should.
Any intervention is backed by research.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Oh, important.
Okay.
Research is key.
So the conversation has been very exciting, and we are left with this. I mean, my top 3 key takeaway would be treat your staff very well, especially those who are helping you with, they have technology know-how and they are mostly supporting you in your work because, like Kelly said, if you don't treat them well, they'll go around for the next place that will treat them well. The second thing I'm taking from this conversation is ESG. As a startup, as a SME, learn more about the economic, social governance space, and learn more about how to incorporate sustainability in your approach. And then the third key thing I'm taking away from this session is please use Challenges Ghana as your go-to for research. And learn more about social media, incorporate technology in your business, go to Challenges Ghana, and they are going to support you with research, like I said. So thank you very much.
Thank you too.
This has been a very fun conversation.
Thank you for having us.
We look forward to working with you, and especially in terms of partnership.
Yeah, sure. We look forward to it too. Thank you. Thanks for hosting us.
Okay, so before we round up, we are going to quickly mention a few opportunities that are available for you tech professionals. So you've already seen it around the Building Bytes. We are still looking to invite you into our editorial apprenticeship program. It's still open till the end of the year, and it's a 3-month learning track. So you learn in tracks like visual designing, web designing, production management, newsletter editing and management, tech journalism, short form content creation, and social media management. If you want to learn any of these skills, you know that Building Bytes Editorial Apprenticeship Program is the right one for you. And in the course of 3 months, like I mentioned, you're going to learn all these. We are looking forward to start in the first quarter of 2025. So do look out for when the program will actually begin. Applications are still open, so check out Building Bytes website, buildingbytes.africa. We also have Demo Fridays upcoming. We are very excited about Demo Fridays because for us, it's mostly our last event for the year. And like we keep mentioning, Demo Fridays is basically that opportunity for you to meet some of the people we have had virtual conversations with, for you to meet the industry stakeholders, for you to, this time around, it's going to be a mixer. It's going to be more fun. No boring panel sessions. Don't worry. It's going to be more fun. Going to have a lot of chill drinks, chops and all that. And we are going to have this very exciting program. I just keep mentioning it. An activity where we get to predict the tech scene for the next year, 2025. So whatever you're thinking about that the Ghana tech ecosystem is going to evolve in, you can literally predict and then put your name under it, so that as it comes to life, you basically track that you are the one who predicted that. Alongside programs where we would have different sectors having a round table, agri-tech having a round table, ed-tech having a round table. It's just going to be fun at WeWire. Please register for Double Fridays. And the next opportunity is CC Hub and MasterCard Foundation is having an EdTech fellowship. This is going to be their third cohort for the next year, 2025. They have a grant amount of, please notice down, $100,000. Grants, guys. The deadline to apply is January 31st. It basically provides you a unique opportunity to collaborate with a network of experienced professionals who are looking to drive innovation in the EdTech sector. So, education technology, guys, this year has been our year, right? So maximize all the opportunities that are available. I think MasterCard and Mest Africa is also having another EdTech fellowship. Applications are still open. You can go to Mest Africa, their website, to have access to that as well. And then the final opportunity is the U.S. African Development Foundation, that's USADF. They have their off-grid energy challenge, which will provide a grant capital of up to $250,000. The grants are flowing. So you'd better do well to look it up, USADF off-grid energy challenge. And you find the application, the call to apply. Please do well to apply, especially if you're in the agriculture scene. And we have more opportunities on grantspilot.co. So please go check Grants Pilot out, and you'll find our community where we share numerous grant opportunities that are available for the tech ecosystem. So as we round up, this podcast has been with production support from Haftel Academy. Kudos to the team. We are really grateful for the support. And do like, subscribe, and share if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're listening to us on your favorite podcast streaming service like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please do like this episode. We'll see you in our next episode. My name has been Akwele Abena Okai, the co-host, and I've been with
Poga Kofi
and our guest
Victor Makafui Tete.
And I am Kelly. It was good being here.
Okay, thank you, and see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.